Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. We're starting our Final Fantasy XIV stream. We're getting at towards the end of Stormblood, or at least the initial ending of Stormblood. We haven't gotten to the expansion content yet, but we're working our way there right now. And let's see, when we left off last time, we have to run another dungeon, Ala Mhigo. So we're getting ready to bust into Ala Mhigo here. And we've fortunately cleared up some of our inventory. Get that screen going there. Should pick up here momentarily, I think. There we go. All right, yeah, all right. So we just need to get ourselves queued up. We got our inventory cleared out a bit too. Offline anyways, and got more room in our armory chest. Looking a lot better. I can still desynthesize a bunch of stuff here, but at least we cleared up some room in all the armory chest slots as well. So how are you doing today? Let me know down in the chat if you would, but if you just prefer to lurk and enjoy the game and the atmosphere with us, by all means do that too. We're just happy to have you here. Let's see. Ala Mhigo, level 70. Alright, currently estimated at 10 minutes, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Something I was going to do. We did find Zextera before, didn't we? Yes, we did. All right. White Joker we could look for. It was way back our level 50 mark that we never knocked out there. Let's see, more the turtle, that's right. We were looking for him when we got into our last one. Gauki Strongblade. We flew around that zone for a bit, didn't find him. I think I'll take a look and see if I can find where he usually spawns. And we'll take a look, see if we can locate them. There's some possible locations. Let's head on over there. We might as well try some of this while we're waiting for queues to pop here. And let's see, Ankoro might be an okay spot. Port into initially there. He's a little further south, I think, usually. You know, anyways, over on this side, we could head down. Probably faster to start by going into Kugane and then porting out to Ruby Sea, actually. so I guess he sometimes hangs out down here by the this encampment down here. At least that'll be our first stop. See if we detect anything down here. Sometimes there. Let's see where else here. Back up this way. Around here. Maybe we're up here. Detecting them around here anywhere. Not there. Maybe he's down there. Oh, okay, that's possible. Yeah, let's go down, check out this down here. Let's see, where's the entrance to that? He might be in here. All the normal stuff. Looks like he's not gonna aggro me here now. Doesn't look like he's in there. Alright, well that was worth a shot, I guess. And let's try another spot. Closer to Isari or the Isle of Zeki here. And we're coming up on 7 minutes into our queue. Alright, let's get this way now. There's another underwater something here. Let's see. Yeah. Don't think I've ever been in here. I don't recall being in here. I don't remember being in here. There's a big boy. Who's that? That's Funayure. Okay. That's one we are not going to be taking on for sure. Not solo anyway. Alright, let's see. Next stop. Let's go to this way. spot to try. Maybe down more this way. There he is. All right, let's see, southeast. He's down here somewhere. Hey, there you are, buddy. All right, well, let's see. Can we get us landed here? Let's get my little chokepo out to help me out here, just in case. Let's see. Let's find a spot where we want to mess with him. And let's see, we are 11 minutes, coming up on 12 minutes into our queue now. Seals, maybe. Go aggro everything that's around these guys. Let's see, Dullahans, Seals Benays, yeah. Trench Tooths, Quadshi. Googaroon Wet. Those must be fates, if I recall. This guy, White Joker and Central Shroud. Go see if we can find him, get a few more allied seals. I don't remember if this will notify you or not when you get close to it. Oh, since you're marked to the southeast, it said, I think. There he is. Hello, White Joker. North Shroud. We can go just knock out the bills that we currently have if we want. Preview of what we can buy with our seals and stuff. Alright, how many of these are we going to do? How much aggro are we going to have to do? Something came after us. Hello, here you come. Nope, you're not going to do that. And we're at 17 minutes into our queue. Yeah, that 10 minutes was a bit optimistic, it looks like. Trench Tooth, Western Lost. Let's see, 19 minutes. We'll be at 20 minutes shortly, waiting on this queue for Ala Mhigo. Not too bad, I guess. We'll have to just see how quickly it'll pop. Get these knocked out, and I'm not going to try to get those hunt marks there in fates. We won't be worrying about those. Go check out what we've got for Shinryu seals. We may want to get some some accessories or something to help bump our eye level in the future. Shell scales. I guess the trench tooths are back this way. I don't remember. Oh, wait a second. Maybe there's a special group over here on the side. Go try these down here. I think there is a little group of them that hangs out in here. They may be the ones. Yep, those are the ones. That's what I had forgotten about that. Alright, well that's that. Travel over to back with Kidane here. Check out the Shinryu Seal's offerings. Here would be what, eye level 340. Oh, nice. Yeah. Certainly, we got 420 to play with. If we wanted to get some accessories, oh, we could get a full set of eye level 340 accessories, it looks like. That might be something we do here. I don't think we're going to get much else. Oh, the earring we don't need to worry about. Yeah, that'll be a nice bump. 288 to 340 for that one. 288 to 340. And let's see, I'm not sure. Can we buy more than one of those? Maybe. 270 and 279, those would both be a nice bump there. Critical hit is a little less on that one, but we gain some from trading in the other one. Our dex goes up, vitality would go up. Determination, direct hit, lose direct hit. No direct hit on those. Well, that would certainly be worth considering if we get ourselves in a situation here where we need to have our eye level at a certain level to do any of the dungeons or 8-man raids. I've had that happen before in the past. I'll just play through not really worrying about anything other than taking the gear that you get from the quest, and then you get to a point in the expansion part of the that particular tier and your eye level is too low and you'll have to bump it up somehow. So anyways, that's a good option. If I don't need it for this expansion, then I'll save those Shinryu seals for later. Alright, we're 24 and a half minutes into our queue. Yep, we're over on Diablos on Crystal Data Center here. Making sure I wasn't back over on my other data center where there's only 4 servers and it's not very busy over there. It takes a long time to get queues over there for certain, especially this time of day. Gatherers we could work on. Let's see. About miner. Level 65. Yeah, we get our 63s, I guess, already. We could work on leveling up our gatherers and getting the gear for them. We did get one piece already, right? The body piece, yep, at level 63. And from botanist 63. Oh, what about Fisher? Did we ever? I can't remember if we did our Fisher quest or not. Oh, we did not. Let's go check that one out. We get another piece of the gathering gear for level 63 from that. And if we get if our queue ends up popping in the middle of a conversation here, we'll just skip through it. If we can in time, anyways. Hope we don't get locked into anything where we can't accept the, or change our class and accept the queue. Arousing reunion. Oh, and thank goodness you're here. Gov's gone off again, this time to Girabania. We had a rendezvous regarding my research into the disappearance of the schools of scarlet fish when a look of realization swept across his scaly face. He dashed away, and I could scarcely ask what was the matter before he shouted one word and dove into the deep waters, of the Veladina, that is. As you know, the Veladina River rushes rapidly through the ravines of Girabania. While I am not privy to the particulars of his epiphany, he appears determined to cross that dangerous divide. A single young Sahagin in lands subjugated under the shackles of Garlemald? I fear for our friend's safety. You must find him before he gets entangled with the Empire. Young Gov's got guts, I'll give him that, and it may take more than one angler to reel him in if he gets rowdy. I've contacted our cohorts in Kurthis, and they've consented to send an apt acquaintance to accompany you. We preemptively planned a powwow at Pike Falls. Now fly, friend, and fetch Gov back before he finds himself in a frying pan, figurative or otherwise. Okay. Let's see, Pike Falls. Yeah, at least we can fly in that zone now. It'll make our gathering quest a lot easier. And we're getting closer to getting flying in the final zone too. I'm gonna need some bait for this, I think, too. Which one was it? Salmon Row, I'm guessing. We'll grab that anyways. I remember to use that. Coming up on 30 minutes for that queue. Well, if it isn't Anne, angler extraordinaire. How fare you these days? Anselm mentioned that you were in need of a deft hand, and as he's tangled up as usual in his struggle for succession, I took it upon myself to accompany you on this little escapade. Ah, yes, the Sahagin fellow. We just made each other's acquaintance. I saw a large shadow swimming beneath the surface of the Veladina, and when I cast my line, I found him on the other end of it. I was rather surprised to see a beastman so far from home, and what's more, one that took the bait. Primal instincts, I suppose. It seemed he got it in his head that this river is polluted with cerulean runoff. He's been swimming to and fro for the gods know how long trying to find the source. Like as not, he's right about the pollution. There's no shortage of imperial structures in these parts after all. But as I've been trying to tell him, I'm all but certain it's entirely unrelated to the disappearance of his beloved shooting stars. For you see, what could the finless know of the rivers and seas? There is only one shore walker I know with the authority to speak of such matters, and his name is Wawalago. Stubborn little bugger, isn't he? He won't listen to a word I say. I've tried to explain to him countless times that me and my fellow fishing enthusiasts are every bit Wawalago's equal when it comes to knowledge of the waters, but to no avail. The day that a Sahagin heeds the counsel of a shore walker on such matters is the day the seas dry up. Is that so? Then we'll just have to prove here and now that we're worth our salt. To that end, I would propose a contest. As you may know, the deep Veladina carp inhabit these waters. If we can reel in 3 before you can spear the same number, you'll agree that our angling acumen is the equal of your own. Do we have a deal? Guess so. Well, he certainly took the bait easily enough. All right, I'm counting on you, Anne. Go catch us 3 big ones. Huh? You thought I'd be doing the fishing? Perish the thought. Going up against the spearfishing of a Sahagin isn't something I like my chances with. You're far more capable than I. Don't worry, though. If I'm right, our friend is likely to resort to the same methods he uses in saltwater fishing, as that's all he knows. But we both know that the appropriate angling techniques differ from river to river and sea to sea. Use this to your advantage, and Godspeed. Alright, so we gotta catch us 3 Veladina carps. I think it's just a matter of using this salmon roe and tossing it in the water here. Yeah. Blood sipper, and I don't recall what the Veladina looks like, whether it's a single banger or a double banger. Another single. Ooh, didn't catch that one. We're gonna be missing some, it looks like. Deep Veladina carp. It's exactly what we need. Alright. There's one. We're all about 35 minutes into this queue. guess we'll get a few more fish we can desynthesize. Be bumping our culinary and desynth up a little bit more. Oh, I need to check out this skill I got. Oh yeah, 560, that's right. That's the Patience 2. Yeah, that'll come in handy later. Throw that off my hot bar there. Just throw away. Oh, there we go. Good. Alright, well let's go ahead and change back to Dancer and get into this dungeon. Hot dog.
shall have to share these findings. Initiate soul extraction.
Here we go.
Success.
See if I can get to it. Here we go. Go, 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 go. Yes.
The soul rebels. This data! Yeah. Red. Kill. Red. Let this moment last forever. Show me your will. Yes, yes, just so. Have you the strength? The power to transcend.
They didn't wait around, did they? I got a few things, it looks like. Oh, I did acquire some new bracelets. Nothing go to my inventory now, right? Except those fish. Yeah, just looking for something here. Hang on a sec. I'm not Sure what I'm looking for here. Yeah, all right.
Yes! Yes! Such ferocity. Such tenacity. I am loath to recall how disappointed I was when first we fought. But finally, after bathing in the blood and offal of your enemies, finally you prove yourself worthy prey for the hunt. It fills you even now, doesn't it? The hunger to bite down on my jugular, to feel the warmth fill your mouth and run over even as you drink deep. Good. Good. This is the beast I have longed to face. As you sharpen your claws, I too sought newfound strength. But this is no place for a final contest. Come! The heavens shall bear witness to our dance. Welcome to the Royal Menagerie. The King of Ruin built this place for his foreign queen. He kept it filled with familiar creatures from her homeland. They bored me all. This fine specimen, on the other hand, is simply divine. Your fates are entwined, are they not, Icon Slayer? This dragon, this embodiment of unbridled despair, born of a desperate man's burning hatred for the Empire. How raw the raging tempest that churns within its breast. No myth made manifest this, but a being of pure violence. Mayhap you are the true architect of our design. You who fought the very soul of vengeance to the edge and watched him fall. You who let slip the Allegan hound to drive this icon into my arms. Oh my, have I said too much? Forgive me, this sensation is wholly unfamiliar to me. A question, then, and I should like very much for you to speak from the heart. If I were to stand aside, what would you do to this icon?
Kill it.
Ah, as simple as that. But of course, you are the Icon Slayer. Such certainty is to be expected. A pity. There is another alternative. Or there would be. Had you only mastered your ability. I speak of the Echo, of course. Does it merely render you immune to iconic influence, or is it rather that your influence is far greater than theirs? Granted, these implications are of no moment to a savage who thinks only of killing the beast before him. But when I read Van Belsar's reports, I immediately saw the boundless potential of the Echo. I saw how it could be instrumental in binding an icon to one's will. Hence my research and a resonant, and oh, so much more. All icons must be exterminated without exception. Such was the imperial mandate issued by my great-grandfather, after he saw firsthand the destruction wrought by one such being. They are a blight upon this star, he felt. And so he began his great and just crusade. Ha! 'Twas not justice which spurred his campaign, but fear! Fear of the icons! Fear of their power! Cowardice made them march forth to battle. Pathetic. Man should fight for the joy of it. To live, to eat, to breed. Lesser beasts snap and howl at one another for this. Only man has the wisdom and the clarity to embrace violence for its own sake. For we who are born into this merciless, meaningless world have but one candle of life to burn. I know you understand this. You and I are one and the same. Together, we could while away the quiet hours as friends and confidants, if you would accept me.
I deny you.
And yet, in doing so, you prove me right. We are warriors. 'Twas plain from the first how this would end. You live for these moments, when all hangs in the balance, when the difference between life and death is but a single stroke. I live for them too! This is who we are, my friend! This is all we are! Ala Mhigo and Doma and Garlemald be damned! The gods! You by your gift, I by my might. And before the resonance, the gods shall be made to kneel. An ending to mark a new beginning.
Okay. We'll get queued up for that one too then. Nice. Alright. Turn off that one. Don't want to run that one again right now. And Royal Menagerie. We'll get 12 poetics from that. And again, it says about 10 minutes, but we will see. Meanwhile, we might as well go fishing a bit. See if we can catch some more while we wait on that. Castoreum. We got one of those deep belladina carps. Also got a level 70 dancer quest we need to knock out too, now that we've got to the level 70 main story. I just wanted to save it until the story got to the same level as the job quest that we needed to do. Alright, let's go more fishing here. Got one last time. Let's see if we get any more before this queue pops. I hope it doesn't take as long for this duty to pop too. We will confront Shinryu and the Royal Menagerie. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. We're at the end of Stormblood and waiting on a queue to pop here. I hope you're doing okay. Let us know down in the comments if you got anything to say, any tips, suggestions, or just whatever's on your mind. We'd love to hear about it. Of course, if you just prefer to lurk and enjoy the atmosphere, the game, and the chat with us, that's fine too. Happy to have you here. Welcome. Just relaxing and chilling, kicking back, doing some fishing while we wait on this 8-man duty to pop for us. fish gets away. Yeah, this nighttime music here, so relaxing too. Philodina grass carp, not what we need. Oh, missed it. I did put it on all my 63s, right? Yeah. We got the 2 pieces that we've acquired so far on the Fisher, so it should be okay for now. We'll get another piece once we complete this quest. Then we can move on to our level 65 gatherer quests. See, 7 minutes into our queue. There's a new one. We're almost level 65, Fisher. have to set up our spearfishing skills at some point here. I believe we already did the spearfishing quest, didn't we? Yeah, we got a spearfishing gig already from that. Good, good, good. So we'll just set up our spearfishing skills on the number 8 crossbar for us to use when we get there. Dang, so many getting away. Probably should do something to bump my gathering. I think that would help a little bit. There's a perception with these guys. I don't remember. Well, there's a second one. All right, one more. We could finish this one out. And we're at 12 minutes into our queue now. There it is. All right. If we can get through this here. As I expected, Gov is having difficulty adapting to freshwater fishing. Even the water itself seems to be irritating his skin. Still, we mustn't underestimate him. Hurry and catch those carp. Okay, well, here you go. 3 carp. Fine work, as always. You never cease to amaze with how quickly you assess the swimming patterns of your prey, even in unfamiliar waters. Let's call Gov back and settle this once and for all. Well, would you look at this? Anne cast, hooked, and reeled in 3 carp before you even set your sights on a single one. How does it feel to lose to a land dweller, Gov? Shh! I did not expect fishing in freshwaters to be so arduous. For a shore walker like you to outfish a sahagi, there are no words to express my shame. Maybe now you've realized there's some worth to what we have to say. Now, shall we return to the topic of the shooting stars? Capable fisherman you may be, but I have already found my answer. The shooting stars have disappeared because this river has been sullied by the ceruleum spilling out into its waters. And if you would let me finish the sentence for just once, I would tell you this isn't so. Why, your prized fish aren't even native to this river. I've discovered beyond a shadow of a doubt that they hail from further to the east. Oh? You see, I came to these parts for business. As Anne knows, my true profession is to ensure that my client's enemies, sleep with the fish. In my spare time, I took a liking to reeling in those fish. Needless to say, I often have occasion to chat with the locals about their favorite fishing spots. So, I asked around based upon information relayed to me by Wawalago, pressing anglers from eastern lands on the whereabouts of fish resembling the shooting star's description. I was able to gather that there are indeed massive schools of bright scarlet fish measuring 60 ilms in length swimming in the waters near the Isle of Thavnair in the Near East, and so 60 ilms? Those are no shooting stars. The fish that my clutch so cherished dwarf even you in size, Shorewalker. Let me finish for once, would you? Furthermore, in East Othard, I found fish of the self-same appearance as those in Thavnair, red as blood, but this time a mere 20 ilms in length. Shh. It all makes sense now. The shooting stars my clutch saw were fully grown. They begin life in the Far East as slight hatchlings, gradually growing to gargantuan size as they journey to the west. Just so. That's what I've been trying to tell you from the start. If the numbers that embark on that rite of passage have dwindled to all but nothing, it stands to reason that whatever happened in the vicinity of their spawning beds. That said, we still have a lot of ground and water to cover before we can fully ascertain just where their nursery is located. While the fishers of the East have seen fish fitting the description of the shooting stars, they were no more knowledgeable about where those fish originate from than we are. Thankfully, I've already managed to establish good rapport with the anglers in these parts. Would you be so kind as to return to Lanaska to give Master Wawalago a report at length while I ask about in search for further clues? I will be in touch as soon as I can find a lead to go on. And you there. I do hope you've learned your lesson about underestimating the talents of shorewalkers. Try to avoid jumping to conclusions next time we meet, won't you? Bye-bye. Loath as I am to admit it, she is right. Forgive me for my arrogance, Shorewalker. You can assure Master Wawalago that you will have my ear in the future. I thank you for your aid. Alright. A lot of talking. Let's see. Back to Fisherman's Bottom. Let's desynth all these that we caught. Yeah, that's a good desynth skill. I will just toss the fine sand. Alright. Off to the Fisherman's Guild. We are 18 minutes. Oh, there it is. Good, good, good. Alright, well, let's change our job and get on with this. See if I can muddle my way through this one. Oh, finding new members. Somebody withdrew. That's too bad. Let's see if we get another one here in just a moment before we continue on here. Well, that's too bad. All right, back to Fisher then. Oh, sounds like you and this Reyna bird battered and buried Gov's bravado. I'd expect nothing less from one of the most promising piscators Eorzea has to offer. That Reyna sounds like quite the lass, and nothing gets the heart beating faster than a bonny bait caster with a basket of bream, eh? If you say so. Oh, a woman after my own heart. A shame this Reyna doesn't frequent these parts more often. I could provide her with pointers on perfecting her fishing posture. Yes, just like so. Don't give me that grimace. Old Wawalago may be beyond his courting years, but like any Lenascan wine, my appeal is only augmented with age. Any road, so you say our lovely lady will drop us a line by link pearl when she has a lead for us. Superb! I'll practice my powers of passionate persuasion in the meantime. Why don't you hone your casting hand at one of your favorite fishing holes in the meanwhile? Sounds like a plan. Let's see. The hat will get me more perception, and the gloves, more gathering. I'll take the gloves. Yep. Learn mooch too. New fishing rod, yay. All right, got that. All right, what do we do next here? Could head back over to Idleshire and start the miner. Man, that's too bad we don't have a replacement. Everybody else probably got funneled off into another duty. Level 65. Pedal to the metal. And the time has come for your next mining job. Is what I would be saying to you right now if we lived in a perfect world. Yet another fight has broken out in the manufactory. Hurry, we've wasted enough time already. Alright, what's going on in the world of stick shapes today? Ah, adventurer. I was just recalling a time when my work used to be so enjoyable, absent of any petty squabbles. Alas, that was long ago. My workers are at it once again. This time it's Zansei and Stack Blocks who are quarreling over the gob roller's controls. Oh, my brain case aches so. My apologies, I have a nasty habit of slipping back into gobby speak when vexed. I am ashamed to ask this of you once more, but could you talk to the two of them? You did great work before, and I cannot think of any other way to solve this. Fair enough. Let's see here. Okay, we are almost 24 minutes into the queue. You want to know why I'm fighting with Stack Blocks? Oh, it would be my pleasure to tell you. She wants to design the controls to be hero-friendly. Can you believe that? Any imbecile knows that goblins are best suited to operate such machinery, and the gob roller will be no exception. Alright, we're going to jam through that then. To our dancer. So, commence. See if I can muddle my way through this one. I don't know. See if I have any trouble here. Alright, waiting on one tank. Here we go.
Are you all right? Zenos.
The hunter has indeed become the hunted. And yet, there is only joy. Transcendent joy that I have never known. How invigorating, how pure this feeling.
Is that what this was all about? All the meaningless death and destruction, so you could feel something?
Meaningless. Men die that others may live. Those who survive are stronger for it. Not that you could ever understand. To have stood upon this great stage of fools. To have played my part to perfection. Oh, this moment. Let it be enshrined in eternity. My heart beating out of time. So clear, so vivid, so real. So real.
Coward!
Stop!
Farewell, my first friend. My enemy.
And yet we don't see blood oozing from his neck.
Where is he?
He's dead. By his own hand.
Then justice has been done.
No. There's no justice in that rabid animal's end.
Liberty or death. That so many should be forced to take up this creed to defeat such madness.
We won. Forget him. The living have need of us now.
Stand tall, Lys. Now is the time to raise a cheer for all who fought for freedom. A cheer loud enough to carry to the highest heavens.
You're right. Thank you. Without you... well, you know. So let's do it together. For Ala Mhigo!
Hey, Aaron Ball.
In crimson it began, and in crimson it ended. And then we were free. But what is freedom, really? We may be free to live, to love, to grow old, to have dreams and desires, and to strive for them. But in the end, we're defined by the legacy our forefathers bequeathed to us. Even Zenos was once a baby in the cradle, innocent and pure. He was made into a creature that lived only for death, not born one. "20 years of Imperial rule have left Ala Mhigo torn and bleeding. It won't be easy to heal a generation's worth of wounds, to bridge the gap. But I won't give up, Papalimo. I won't. Because I remember the price of freedom. I remember the smoke, and the ashes, and the blood. I remember the screams, and the silence. And I'll do whatever it takes to honor their sacrifice, to build a home for us all. I promise you. This is the end. The end of the imperial province of Ala Mhigo, and the rebirth of Ala Mhigo, the free nation. Long may she endure.
Okay, yeah, we'll skip the credits anyways.
Well, well, well. What a fine mess we've made. All but spent feeding that primal, eh? Well, you won't be making any mischief with that amount of ether. Still, better safe than sorry. There. There ends your hateful legacy.
It's over. My condolences for your loss. The father should not outlive his son. What nonsense. You do not mourn his loss? You surprise me, Your Radiance. He was your son and heir, and an irreplaceable test subject. I know what he was. Monsters are not made for thrones. Nor are stars made to sustain false gods who sup on their very essence, icons summoned by desperate savages who hearken to the whispers of shadowless charlatans. Should you raise a hand against my black-robed brethren, I will not stop you. Our desires are one and the same: preservation, restoration, compression, resurrection. All is in service to your one true God. And when the sundered shards are made whole, will there be a place for us mere mortals? Doubt my claims and question my motives if you will, Your Radiance. You will come to trust me in time. Until then, mayhap you will find this reassuring. How dare you? We did it. We liberated Ala Mhigo. I don't know what to say. I don't even know how to feel about it all. Relief, I suppose. Pride. And hope, too. We did it, Father. Ida. Papa Emo. Conrad. Mefred. Minfilia. We really did it. Hey, don't feel like you have to stand here listening to me mumble. Everyone else will want to talk to you. You beat him after all. You're the real hero of this story, so run along and take your plaudits. For you to best Zenos, even after he had harnessed the power of a primal, is a testament to your ever-growing strength. Well, yeah, while I was, like, eating dirt for the last bit there, but whatever. Got knocked out twice. Not bitter to have had your vengeance stolen from you by another. There is some small regret, perhaps, but that is outweighed by the satisfaction I find in his death. I commend you, Anne. As should we all. Zenos was a monster and a tyrant, the man who killed my father and countless other of my countrymen. The world is a better place without him in it. I should also praise Master Alphino for his foresight and restraint. Had he not intervened, I might never have had the pleasure of being reunited with Hakuro and his Lupin brothers. 'Twas a timely intervention, aye. Full glad am I not to have been burdened with the guilt of killing my Lord Hien's most trusted allies. Ha, indeed, my friend, indeed. Can you believe it? We won! We beat the bastards! Ala Mhigo! Ala Mhigo! Sorry, got a bit carried away there, didn't I? It's hard not to, you know? We owe it to the friends we buried to shout and scream and cheer with all our hearts. I want them to know it wasn't for nothing, that it's finally over and they can rest in peace. You hear that, lads? We'll be all right. We'll be... Oh, fucker, not again. I'm so bleeding happy I could cry. After all we have been through, I really should know better than to worry, but as ever, the relief I felt upon finding you hale and whole in the royal menagerie well nigh reduced me to tears. The warrior of light, victorious again. I should be surprised if some small part of you had not come to resent the title and the responsibilities which accompany it. You must forgive us if we call you hero when you accomplish heroic feats. But as the warrior of light goes, so goes the world. You should take pride in the good you have done, and in the good you have inspired others to do. You are a natural-born leader of men, Anne. All these people weren't just following their commanders, they were following you. And you led them to victory, to freedom. Alas, not everyone could see the journey through to its end, but history shall remember them, and the glorious future they made possible. The hero of the hour. I suppose we'll have to add Liberator to your titles. With their commander fallen, the remainder of the 12th chose to surrender to our forces. After 20 long years, it's official. The occupation is ended. But now the hard work starts. Though the people have had their fill of kings, there is no clear consensus on what sort of government they would prefer instead. Indeed, Father, momentous as this achievement may be, the road which lies before us is no less uncertain than the one we have walked. Aye. Yet, if we can overcome 2 decades of oppression, I've no doubt we can find a way forward. Thank you, Lieutenant, for helping to make this dream a reality. Finished your rounds? Great. In that case, I'd like you to come back with me, back to Ralgar's Reach. Not for a rematch or anything, sadly. I want to call all the Scions together. I'll explain later. I don't even know where to begin. Here we go, finally can fly in that final zone. At least after this is finished.
We've been through a lot together, haven't we? I can't thank you enough. There's something I need to say to you all. That is, if you have a moment. Good. You're all here. Good. Thank you doesn't really suffice, does it? I'm grateful. Truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. But I know you didn't fight so hard just to hear me or anyone else say that. You fought because you wanted to help, because you believed it was right. Because you're Scions. Now, I'm obviously a Scion, but as Conrad left me in charge of things here, I also have responsibilities to Ala Mhigo. When I put it like that, though, I realized I couldn't even pretend to be impartial anymore. So it seemed best to make it official. As long as I serve Ala Mhigo, I can't be a scion. It might be selfish and short-sighted, but that's my decision.
Am I to understand that you summoned us all, some of us still nursing wounds, to hear this?
Oh, I didn't,
Forgive me, Lise. 'Twas but a jest. But this I say with the utmost sincerity. Scion or no, we are comrades, now and ever after. Is that not so?
Well said.
There you have it. Come what may, you may count on us in your hour of need. We shall never refuse you.
Stola. Oh, gods. I swore I wouldn't cry.
Come back here, you slippery little devil. I think fishing could be so difficult. What greater proof of a man's lingering mortality than an empty belly? A fate worse than death. Fie on it. To have arrived at the appointed place and time only to survive by mere force of habit. Truly, the Kami are not finished with us yet.
Absolutely.
Oh, capricious fortune. How you test me with this wretched soul.
This is indeed the work of either Shinryu or Omega. And since there is undeniably something down there radiating a massive amount of energy, which cannot very well be the late Viceroy's lapdragon, yes, I think we have our suspect. Well, this is a mess of our own making, so it falls to us to clean it up. It won't be easy, but is it ever? And now comes the part where you say you've got no choice but to divert company resources and employees to this pet project of yours. Lost profits and belligerent clients be damned. Financial considerations notwithstanding, you have to admit there is an unquantifiable benefit in giving our people the opportunity to study such advanced technology. Oh? Is that before or after you blow it up or seal it away? Fine, fine, but the moment I judge this little venture an unsustainable risk to the ironworks, I'm ending it. Savvy? And to keep you honest, using my authority as deputy president, I've gone ahead and brought in a consultant, a master engineer and mechanical genius. You didn't. I think she did. Come now, you mustn't build their expectations too high. It will be less dramatic when I surpass them. Oh. Oh no. Absolutely not. This is not happening. Nero Tolskeva, eager to begin his first day as a loyal member of the Ironworks team. Looking forward to working with you, Garland. So fell the hunter, but what of the hound? So rose the children, etc., etc. Did I not get my final? Yeah, there we go. Freebird the locks. We'll get there. Frequent flyer number 2, so all those zones are unlocked now. Let's see where this is going to lead us. Ehrenwald's Adventure.
Come to see how we're getting on?
Yeah.
We've made good progress since we took back Ala Mhigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address. Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here. Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future. But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches. The Reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ah, there you are. I've been searching all over for you. Now, don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me?
Well, sure.
I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure? After all, we were adventurous before we were scions, were we not? After routing the Imperials and liberating Ala Mhigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots? So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
Twist my arm, why don't you? Here. Right then, let's go and find Master Levelier. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetheryte, and we'll be along shortly. See you there. Greetings, Anne. Could seem we are to accompany Ironbald on some manner of escapade. Have you any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Ala Mhigo was still a monarchy and Theodoric sat the throne. A uniquely brutal despot by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Ralger's Reach being burned to the ground. In the later years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it's said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. Ah, I believe I see the direction our adventure is to take. I assume you have mind to unearth his hidden bounty? You assume correctly. And would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others must surely have gone in search of your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Ala Mhigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But even after scouring every room from dawn till dusk, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remains simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. What self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine, the three of us, delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. Count me in. I have learned the emote box. We get, oh, this will be eye level 370 accessories. That's nice. The news of Doma and Ala Mhigo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the imperial province of Dalmasca has already risen up in rebellion. Which means the Garleans must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Ironbald, have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere, so we'll probably need to ask around. Would that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied archivists and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodoric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you will be looking for people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Arenvald, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks, whilst Anne makes the rounds in the Ala Mhigo quarter. Ha! And there I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gilbard's Gate. Sounds like a plan. And so before I head into that, I'm going to go ahead and do my level 70 dancer quest. Save the last dance for me. Back over in New Gridania. And I'll dump those coins that I got from desynthing those fish there. Alright, what are we doing here, Ala Mhigo? What am I getting? Technical step. Oh, there it is. Great news, Anne. Post Moogle just dropped off this letter from Mistress Nashmira. She says the stage has all been set for our performance in Ala Mhigo. Why, she's even scouted out what she claims is an ideal venue to host our exhibition. A village called Alagana that sits in the Girabanian highlands. Though Ala Mhigo is finally free from Garlean rule, many of its people still have doubts that this peace will truly prevail. In other words, it is precisely the sort of place where the Totentans might strike. At any rate, Mistress Nashmira assures me that she and her secretive acquaintance have made all the necessary preparations. The Ala Mhigan resistance, she says, has seen fit to ensure that Alagana's most prominent residents will be in attendance. If we can perform as we did in Ishgard and swiftly dispel the darkness from their hearts, surely they will be able to influence their fellow villagers and stave off the onset of the Totentans. And what did she say at the very end of her letter? Ah, yes. Grana, and the success of our tour and the very future of Troop Balsium itself rides on you. I am counting on you to rise to the occasion. Are you as excited as I am? Let's make this a show for the ages. And with that, let us set out for Alagana. We mustn't keep Mistress Nashmira waiting. All right, let's go. Ah, there you are, Anne. Have you by chance seen Mistress Nashmira? I can't find her anywhere, but I'm sure she'll be along soon. I know she wouldn't miss our performance for the world. And look at what I found. I scoured the troop's wardrobe to find outfits befitting our grand finale. One thing's for certain, we'll be dressed to impress. And remember, mum's the word about the Totentans, all right? We want our audience to enjoy the performance without worrying themselves with the terrible truth behind it all. Well then, whenever you're ready to take the stage, you know where to find me. Ooh, a glowy point quest. Here we go. This is it, Anne. Ready to raise the curtain on our final act. Level 70. pretty low comparatively to the knights there. So close and yet so far. For all who cannot make the voyage to our home, we bring our art to yours. Hailing from Rads at Han across the sea, I present the incomparable, transcendent Troop Falsium. Today, we perform for you the ancient dance of our ancestors, a spectacle to stir the heart, enrich the mind, and chase away the shadows of doubt that plague your soul. Feast your eyes upon the Kriegstans. That Final Fantasy IX memories. It's okay, really. It's okay. Right on cue. All right, Anne, let's take out that nasty thing before our audience realizes it's not just for show. Right then. Just look at those enraptured faces. The excitement in the air is almost palpable. They know they're about to get a show the likes of which they've never seen. The Ala Mhigans are counting on us, Anne, and in more ways than they themselves even know. We must dance and not stop dancing till every last shadow has been purged from their hearts. This is the performance we were born to give. All right. Well, let's see what we can do. Can I make her my partner? Yeah, good. best step here. Like this. Mistress Nashmira, oh, I knew you wouldn't miss our grand finale. And your dancing, why, you were every bit as enchanting as I remembered from all those years ago. Sharing the stage with you truly was a dream come true. I simply had to make amends for my embarrassing display in Gridania, did I not? My wounds had all but healed entirely, so I redoubled my training efforts after arriving here in Ala Mhigo. I dare say I feel as spry as I have in years. And yet, there can be no doubt, you and Anne were the true stars today. To think that you have come so far in such a short span of time. Mayhap I should have just admired your performance from the wings instead of stepping in. Tut, Mira. I seem to recall you telling me just the other day that the girl was still not ready for the spotlight. Flamen. You know me, Laman. I am strict with my students because I expect only the best from them, and these two have done me proud today. Fancy meeting you here, Anne. I must admit, it gave me quite a start when my Mira here told me that you, of all people, had joined her merry little troop. Mira and I go far, far back, you know. After those horrific events unfolded in Ul'dah, I hid away in Thavnir for some time. It was then that we first made each other's acquaintance. Song and dance go together rather well, needless to say, and our friendship rapidly blossomed. When she turned to me for assistance in planning Troop Valsium's tour of Eorzea, I was more than happy to do my part. It does not surprise me that an accomplished adventurer would have many friends across the realm, but never would I have suspected you and my dear Laman were so close. Truly, fate must have brought us together for a reason. I feel the same. Your presence alone has motivated me to grow in ways I never would have thought possible. You have given me the courage, strength, and determination to be more than what I was. Thought I recognized that face from somewhere. From Liberator of Ala Mhigo to traveling performer, eh? Not a path I'd have predicted, but I'm hardly surprised to see you emerge triumphant in whatever you do. Aye, that was truly a performance for the ages. Here in Alagana, we don't get much exposure to foreign cultures. Rather stimulating that was. Especially the grand finale where you chased off those bloody shadow beasts. Got the blood pumping, I'd say. I only wish there was more we could do to show our appreciation. Think nothing of it, my good sir. Just knowing that we've brought a measure of joy to Ala Mhigo in its time of need is reward enough for us. Too kind you are, miss. The road ahead of us is a long one, but thanks to you, we can stride down it with a spring in our step. Know that our village is always open to you should you ever be willing to grace us with another performance. Farewell, friends. Phew, for a second I thought he'd realized the true nature of those shadows. But no, the threat of the Totentons is gone for now, and it seems no one's the wiser. That is heartening indeed. And with that, we should prepare for our departure. The Ala Mhigans were kind enough to invite us in these trying times. We mustn't linger so long that our presence becomes a burden. I too should be on my way. It was a pleasure and honor both to see you on the stage again, Mira, and you as well, Anne. Till our paths cross again, go in safety. Well, that's the last of it. Our props are packed up and we're ready to take to the road. I must say, it's a touch bittersweet knowing that this was our last performance, but I suppose even the best of things must come to an end. Mistress Nashmira will go ahead to Limsa Lominsa to secure us passage back to Radzat-Han. You'll stop by and see us off, yes? We'd like to pay you proper thanks before taking our leave of this land. Back to Limsa. Guild and run around. Back where it all started here. Anne, I'm so touched. You really did come to see us off. Thank you ever so much for all you've done. It was an honor to tour Eorzea with you and bring strength and succor to its people. You have my gratitude as well, Anne. The people whose hearts you have touched will, in turn, inspire others. Yes, before long, the Dance of the Damned will be but a memory. And yet, until that time, we cannot let down our guard. I propose that we extend our tour of Eorzea in the event that there are yet people in this realm who still require our aid. Do you truly mean this, Mistress Nashmira? Anne and I can keep dancing together? In good time, Rana, yes. But Anne is an adventurer, and one whose services are justifiably in high demand. It would not be very considerate of us to monopolize her services for our ends. And so we bid you farewell for now. Rana and I will remain in Limsa and consult with Master Gegaruju about potentially extending our tour to new locations. Pray, come back and visit us on occasion, yes? Rana gets awfully lonely without company. Hey, that's not... well, I suppose it is true. Keep dancing, Anne, and let us eagerly await the day that we can take the stage together anew. Facing the shadows, we've learned a new skill. Technical step. And we have to get well into Shadowbringers before we can do the next one. It says There we go, technical step. Now we have it unlocked. That's got, what was that? A cooldown of 2 minutes. Whereas the regulars just got 30. Standard step, technical step. Alright, well that's good. Let's see, next what can we do here? Speak with the residents of the Ala Mhigo Quarter. In the palace? No, not me, lass. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up on the divine audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Suffice it to say that I stayed as far away from the palace as possible. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see His Royal Majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he'd ordered, and after a while even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Aye, I served at the pleasure of King Theodoric, and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life, and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which of course we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If you're hell-bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Arnold. He was the king's head scribe. Oh, good tip. Yes, I'm Arnold. What do you want with me? You would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories. Yet, if Ala Mhigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodoric's paranoia and the public executions of his kinsmen? Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodoric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is a kindness that the monarchy ended with him. Right, Harenbald. Here's what we found out. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself, but I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Anne? Were your investigations any more fruitful? Turned into monsters? And what could he mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alighieri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said naught of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could this scribe fellow have been spinning her a yarn, do you think? Did you believe him, Anne? His fear seemed genuine. If he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Arnold's anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden, but ere I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. Arnvald, you spoke of light-hearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? It wasn't all pretense, I swear it, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Ala Mhigan mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pureblood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage and took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Ala Mhigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that road led me into the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodoric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Oh. Thank you, Arnvald, and I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall. But I felt it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Anne, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arnvald's noble cause and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? Of course. And I should be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's trove, if you are minded to hear it. Right. Bending, slaying, aiming. Bumps us up to high level 316 now. That's good. The Mad King's Trove. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourn to a more suitable location. In case a rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but 'tis certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of Loch Seld. Forgive me, 'twas not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wished to have the lock in sight while I explained things. Prior to the great flood of the Sixth Umbral calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines, and this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the Fifth Astral Era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war, yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of Loch Seld. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace, mentioned by Theodoric's former scribe, was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying they were meant to guard the Mad King's trove? Precisely. And since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance into the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods knows how many Ala Mhigans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have certain advantages which they did not enjoy. And would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the loch and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Arnvald and I will seek out an ensorcelled portal within the palace. Discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. Come to a worn stone door standing temptingly ajar. It would appear you have found an entrance into the subterranean ruins. And it's Alphino. We have searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enchantments. Have you aught to report? Yeah, I found a slightly open door. And you believe it leads into the ruins? Excellent! Then I propose we proceed from our respective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Oh, come on, you two. We might as well make it a race. Victory goes to the first adventurer to find the treasure. Godspeed. The drowned city of Scala now available. Alright, we'll save that for our next stream. I'm going to go continue this mining quest that we had gotten started here. Shire. Get that one to the point where we actually have to go mine something, and now we'll start the botanist one also. And so we can work on those while we're waiting for Eva Top next time around. Stackblocks wants to design whirly-cog insides for uplanders, but Zansei says no. Zansei has much knowings of whirly-cogs. Why won't he make gob roller insides that suit uplanders? Stackblocks can't sweat work with these addle-brained ideas. Zansei needs to think like Gobby. I know that can't have been easy. On the bright side, now that we know the issue, all we need to do is fix it. Would you be able to bring me 20 chunks of feather iron ore, old girl? Splendid. My friend, a merchant of sorts, is more knowledgeable of this particular mineral than I. Seek him out at the hard place, and he shall tell you where to find what we need. You are the uplander that gave Gobby ore more precious than jingly shine. Good Gobby friend indeed. Are you well? Searching for feather iron ore, Gobby is always willing to aid Stick Chick's busy deals. Uplander is good Gobby friend, so no jingly shine is needed. You will find what you seek in the Far East. Head for the Ruby Sea. Well, that's where we'll end up going to get our feather iron ore. And the botanist is right here as well. And the Papatoes are coming along very nicely. However, we're not quite there just yet. Fufucha has sent word asking us to visit the guild to discuss crossbreeding in further detail. Do you have the time to accompany me there once more? Sure. Fantastic. Let us rendezvous in front of the guild as usual. I'm keen to try making my own way there this time. Nice to see you both got my message. The wild Papatoes you collected for me have taken quite well and work is progressing at a healthy pace. However, while I have succeeded in harnessing the wild specimen's hardiness, I have been unable to incorporate any element that would set our Papatoes apart from the rest. I believe in you, Fufucha. If anyone is capable of making a success of this, it's you. Thank you for your faith, Edgith. It is most touching. As it happens, I do indeed have an idea. I have heard stories of a Papatoe species known as Walker's Papatoe that was once cultivated upon the island of Vilbrand. It is said to be a variety that retains its shape when boiled, making it perfect for stews. Crossbreeding our existing Papatoes with this variety may well give us that special something we need to make ours stand out. Say no more. Anne and I shall gather all the Walker's Papatoes you need. You catch on quick, Edgith. From what I understand, they used to be grown at the Red Rooster Stead. Try asking around there to see if someone cannot point you in the right direction. Asking people questions is one of the few things I'm good at. Let's go, Anne. I have a good feeling about this. Outside of Limsa. Right. Ah, yes, Walker's Papatoes. We were always shipping them off to the Far East. Those Hingans go mad for a good Walker's Papatoe. We haven't grown any for quite some time, but it wouldn't surprise me if someone over there had gotten tired of waiting for us to resume growing them and started cultivating their own. Walker's Papatoes? That's a name I've not heard in a while. I'm afraid you're far too late. We haven't cultivated those since the calamity. I cannot say I miss them either. They were so susceptible to both disease and the cold, it was always an uphill battle. You won't find any in storage either, in case you were getting your hopes up. We threw the last of them out long, long ago. I've never heard of anyone else volunteering to grow them since. Sorry I couldn't be of any help. Oh, hello there, Anne. My apologies, I wasn't much good at gathering information after all. I suppose that's one more thing we can add to the list of jobs I can't be trusted with. Oh, come on. What's that? There's a chance we may find Walker's Papatoes in the Far East? Well then, the best of luck on your journey to Kugane. I know I really ought to accompany you, but visiting Gridania alone was enough to put my head in a spin. I'm not sure I could handle an entirely different continent. It also wouldn't do for me to leave my darling plants on their own for such a long time. But do not fear, I will see to it that everything is in place for you to plant the Papatoes upon your triumphant return. Thanks, Edges. Off to Kugane then. Walker's Papatoes, I cannot say I have ever sold them in my shop. I do feel I may have heard of them being grown in Isari on the mainland, mind you. It might be worth your while paying the village a visit. Ah, Walker's Papatoes. A tastier Papatoe I have never stocked. In fact, I am completely out of them right now as it happens. I have not seen my supplier for quite some time. I am fairly certain his name was Hikinami. I lost contact with him when things began to get a little rough on the Ruby Sea. Alright, well we're not going to go to Isari then, for now. We will finish here. Switch back to our dancer and we'll resume, let's see, resume Final Fantasy on Thursday. Tomorrow being Wednesday, we'll be doing our Infinite Undiscovery hard mode stream. So if you like, please join us tomorrow morning. We're going for the compulsive achievement in Infinite Undiscovery. That's eluded me for a while, but we're going to try for it anyways. And then we'll be back here with more Final Fantasy on Thursday morning. So thanks for your time today. I hope you all had a great time with us, and please join us again tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Bye-bye. Thanks, Lily. You take care of yourself, too.